There, friends. So welcome to another episode of Confessions and Stories and Whatnot from an Uber Lyft driver. That would be me. Now, right off the bat, all the Uber and Lyft rides, every dollar I've made goes towards other things. I've never spent any of it on myself, never saved it. I don't need it for me, and I'll get into that at the end of this video because it kind of goes with the story of this video. So most of the Uber Lyft stuff, it's not so much crazy stories and weird stuff that happens, though some of it is. A lot of it lately has just been more inspirational stuff, more life lessons stuff. And this one definitely falls under the category of a huge life lesson. Hi, Lori. Hi, Teresa. So, dude gets in my car, really nice guy. And right off the bat, he's telling me about how he's going to go. I'm taking him to the airport. He's going to go with his wife in Orlando, and she's already there. Hey, Tanya. And so he starts telling me about how he's going to retire this September, and he tells me about, yeah, it's going to be an adjustment, though, because it's going to be a cut in income. Hi, Brent. Hi, Leslie. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's pretty common. I think it's the minority that actually retire richer than they were when they were working, and probably most people retire a little bit poorer than when they were working. And he's like, yeah, that's true. I don't know of any other way. I don't even think it's possible to do it any other way. And I'm like, well, I've been reading some books and biographies of people who have. I've talked to a few people who actually retired exponentially richer than they were when they were working. And I just left it at that, sort of a cliffhanger statement, thinking, well, he's either going to be curious and ask me who, how, what, why, or he isn't. And he did what most people do. Most people are not curious. There was no question about it or anything. He just kept mulling over and, complaining a little bit. He was a nice guy. But, it was definitely a negative connotation to the fact that he was going to have a cut in his income when he went to retire. And so that's why I brought that up and just let him ask questions if he was, and he was not curious at all. And to me, so here's the takeaway from that. And I've done plenty of other videos on that too. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Kat, Tanya, everybody. Here's the big takeaway from that. And I've observed this for many years. Some people are very curious people, and most people are not curious people. And you always know curious people because they're asking questions and they want to know why, and they want to dig deeper below the surface. And they always have something more interesting to say than people who are not curious, because they're always learning and they're always expanding and they're not constricted. And then on the other side, hi, Mary Beth, people that aren't curious, they're the ones that typically, just follow the rules. They're not really asking any questions. If they do, it's usually a gotcha kind of thing. They're the complainers. They make excuses. They have all the rationale in the world, and they make statements of rationalization for excuses, and they're limited and they're constricted, and that's all an inside job, but so are the curious people an inside job. And so the end result, at least in this case, and gosh, every case I'd have to say, people that aren't curious, they retire poorer than they were when they were working. And for most of them, they're already pretty poor when they're working, because half the country needs food stamps and other subsidies from the government because they were never curious. They never got outside of that box of what they already know, what they're already comfortable with. They were never curious enough to bother. So they're also not curious enough to be an interesting conversation and all of these other things. And they're generally not going to be good teachers because they were never good students, because they weren't curious enough to ask questions and learn. So curiosity is where it's at. And when I meet someone who's not curious, it's like, that's alien to me. And specifically, I'll get back to this case. That's sort of a macro picture, but this micro event, which represents a macro picture for most people, the guy just complained about how he's going to have to retire poorer than he was when he was working. And he made the statement instead of asking a question. He said, I just don't think it's even possible to make more money in retirement than you are when you were working. And so he just made that statement, not even open to the possibility. And then he hears this outside voice, me being the outside voice. Well, I've talked to people who actually did retire exponentially richer than they were when they were working, and they had some fascinating things to say. And I just left it at that. And so he just hears this. It's in direct relationship and alignment with his complaint, with his desire, maybe, with, the thing that pains him. This speaks directly to that, what I just said. And you'd think he'd ask about it. Nope. Oh, tell me who these individuals are. Well, what do they share with you? Or do they have a published book, or, whatever? But nothing, man, nothing. Just continued to make the statements about how life is going to suck because his income is going to be cut when he goes into retirement. No curiosity at all. I'm like, how can he not ask for that? So, friends, if you want to comment below what you think would be the reason why somebody wouldn't. Hi, Colleen. I am smiling because you're here, Colleen. Colleen. So anyway, friends, if you want to comment below with reasons why you believe somebody in that circumstance, hearing what he just heard, why he would ask the question, well, what did he find out from these people? How did they do it? You know, why he didn't ask something that was, I mean, I threw him a layup down the middle, a layup, and he didn't swing at it at all. So if you want to comment with your ideas why that might be, go for it, because it probably represents a lot of other people that have no curiosity whatsoever. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Shelly. Okay. So, and I'll close out on this right now. Two ideas, two things here I'll close out on. One, and if he was curious, not only would I have guided him towards, you know, some people that have done what he wants to do, but he wasn't curious enough to ask to find out, so too bad on him. But he was a nice guy, so don't get me wrong there. No judgment against him at all. Resigned and cynical. Okay, maybe, who knows, Mary Beth. That could be it. Maybe he's tried some things before. I have no idea. But where was I going with that just now? Oh, yeah. Okay, so two things I want to close on then now. So if he was curious enough to ask me those questions, it could have even led back to me. I'm just going to say it. I could have been like, you know, I blog a lot about this stuff too, and I talk to people in some of these interviews, and my ideas, my philosophies, and I've been able to do well, and I retired. I mean, if he had some curiosity, I could have been like, yeah, and I retired too. I retired when I was 32 years old. And then if he was curious, he'd have been like, well, how'd you do that? Let alone any age, let alone 32. And then I could, well, go to tombirkenmeyer.com. I got a blog site there. I blog about it all the time. Maybe you'll find something there that can really help you out and accomplish what your desires are in retiring richer than you were when you were working. So go to tombirkenmeyer.com, and in my car, I've actually got it written on some signs. A lot of people in my car will take a picture of that stuff so they can go back home and look at it on their computer. You know, I could have guided them toward my blog site where I've got wisdom from other people and wisdom from my own experiences and how I retired at 32 years of age. And who knows where that could have gone if he was just curious. It spoke to the source of his pain. It would have spoken to that completely. But he did not do that. That's that. And so that was there. Awesome. I need a place to go. Can you help me make some fast? Colleen private messaged me. Colleen said she lost her job, needs a place to go. Can you help me make some fast cash? So anybody watching this, private message me. And here's the last thought on this video, which typically ends all of my videos. If you're interested in adding health and wellness to our lives, including your own, and you want to learn how to make residual money doing that, and you're not just interested, but you're completely freaking turned on at the idea, genuinely turned on at the idea of adding health and wellness to our lives and making residual money doing it so that you can retire richer than you were when you were working, then private message me. I'll show you what I've been doing for over a decade, and the thing that allowed me to be able to retire when I was only 32 years old. I'll show it to you, and if you like it, if it turns you on, we will do it. Love you too, Mary Beth. I miss you. Let's hang out soon. It's been a while. Hi, Alyssa. And lastly, all the money that I make from ride-sharing, Lyft, and Uber, I said I'd get back to that. So how do I pay my bills and eat and do anything? If I take $0 for myself, I've taken $0 for myself from this whole ride-sharing business. So how do I fund my own livelihood? I give all this money goes to my affordable housing project and the Gerson Institute. They heal people from various problems using nature, not medicine. And the King's Ransom Foundation, I donate a little bit to them too. And they rescue kids throughout the world from human trafficking rings and kids that are starving to death in war-torn countries and things like that. But most of it goes to my affordable housing project, and I take $0 for myself. So how do I afford to pay my bills? Well, going back to that last thing I talked about, if you'd like to see what I've been doing for over 10 years to add health and wellness and fitness to our lives, including my own, and making residual money doing that, and also covering all my bills so I can do stuff like this and not take any of the money but put it to work towards helping other people. If that turns you on, if you're genuinely interested in that, then private message me. I'll show you what I've been doing for over 10 years now. And if it turns you on, we'll do it too. We'll lock arms and we'll do it. Okay? Hi, Pretty Bubbles. Oh, Pretty Bubbles was one of my passengers once upon a time. Pretty cool. And then we connected on Facebook through here. So I've made some friends from the Uber ride share Lyft driving stuff, which is pretty awesome. So great to see you, Pretty Bubbles. Hi, Jessica, Aaron. I have a great idea going. Well, thank you very much, Aaron. Appreciate that. Have a wonderful day. Reach out, big hugs, talk soon. Cool. Colleen, thanks for reaching out, and everyone else who's going to reach out too. And Katie, good to see you. So I guess I got some private messages I got to respond to here. If not now, then soon today, I promise, for all of you that have already written to me. And those of you that are going to write me, I promise I'll reach out to you sometime today to show you what I've been doing or answer whatever questions that you have. You can also ask questions here in this thread if you want. But if you're specifically interested in what I've been doing for over a decade now, to add health and wellness to our lives, make residual money doing it, and allow me to retire richer than I was when I was working, for that, private message me specifically. And I'll talk to you soon. But for now, everybody, I appreciate all the live engagement on this thing. Make out kisses. More make out kisses. Mwah. Hey, Alicia, you missed it, but it'll be archived on my Facebook account soon. Like, tap finish right now.